Yeah, morning all. Sorry for the delay. Fine. DJANGO framework. Yes. First, what is a framework? What is a framework? And today, why DJANGO required? Already we have knowledge on Python. Already Python. Why again DJANGO required? Why DJANGO? History of DJANGO. Key advantages of DJANGO. So before I start, right, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear and audible? Is my voice clear, whether my screen is visible or not? Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. So why DJANGO is key advantages of DJANGO? Features. Characteristics of DJANGO, right? Companies using DJANGO. Companies using DJANGO, right? Yes. And job market of DJANGO job market. DJANGO job market. Okay, these things I'll be discussing. What is a framework? Why DJANGO? And also like one sample web application I'll show you how simple it's developing a web application using the DJANGO framework. Sample web application. So I'll come with what do you mean by framework, but before that, so the prerequisites, what you need to know something for DJANGO, mainly like you need to have the knowledge on HTML, CSS, right? HTML. Okay. See this HTML, you may ask why we need to go for DJANGO. Already people have got knowledge on HTML, Python, all this. So this HTML gives only for static responses. Static responses. It's only for presenting the data. HTML is only how good you present your data on the web page with different font, colors, images, forms, frames, right? How would you present your data? Yes, but it's not for any dynamic responses. Static responses, it can't provide dynamic responses. It can't provide dynamic responses. Whenever you click, for example, a registration form, you will enter the details like a name, all that, whatever details, registration form. After entering the registration form, if you click submit button, the data should need to be stored within the database. No, in HTML alone can't do that. So we need to have some dynamic responses, right? So generally, okay. For example, If you want to display something, if you want to display some text on the web page, HTML is enough. If you want to display some kind of text on the web page with different font, HTML alone is enough. But if you want something, for example, any kind of applications, some date kind of applications, and any other kind of automation kind of applications, right? So for that, we need to go for technologies like JavaScript. See this JavaScript or PHP. Yes. So these things, otherwise active server pages, JavaScript or ASP. So these things active, okay, for dynamic responses, right? So if you see, if the response, for example, you may ask if the response, static response means, for example, Gmail. If we take a login page or a home page, if you open any like banking site like SBI, SBI.com, whenever you open any, what is that, home pages, they are static. The same page will be open always. Static response. So the same response will be provided to all the users. If you open a SBI web page, for example, if you open any organization, for example, you have any college website, it opens the same for all the users. Okay. Or login page, for example, Gmail, Facebook, all this. This will be static to all, common to all the users. For example, any other page, if you talk about any other page like dynamic page. Dynamic page means, for example, if you open any of your like Facebook account, once you enter into a Facebook page, whatever the messages will be different to user, right? Once you open a Facebook, okay, web page, once you open it, the pages what you see within the Facebook will be different to user. You will have your own messages. Or even if you talk about Gmail, you will be having your own messages, right? Inbox. It will be different every time. Time to time, it will be changing. But time to time, login page or the home pages won't be changing, right? They'll be static throughout. But time to time, if you talk about this phase, once you enter into the web pages, right, they'll be changing. You'll be having some dynamic contents in that. And if you talk about this backend, front end, okay, backend. If you talk about this backend, and also for HTML, you are presenting data, right? For HTML, you are presenting data. We use CSS, cascading style sheets, to add some styles for your data, adding some styles, right, to HTML components, right? Some border colors, image border, table border, text border, text colors, only for styles. How would you present your data on the web page? What is backend? It is a technology. Backend is a technology which decide what to show on the web page, what to show to the end user, right? So this backend is it's responsible for generating the response and displaying that response on the web page and what to be displayed on the web page. Totally everything, the kind of processing we see, right? Any business logic implementation, everything we see within this backend, right? So what to be displayed on the web page, and as per the request, the request will be processed, everything, request processing, everything taken care by this backend. And for this, three things required. First thing, what language what language you are choosing. It doesn't mean that only Python can do. We have got many what language you want to choose for the backend. And secondly, framework. What framework you want to use? Third, what database? What language, what framework, and what database? Language means which language you want to choose. You want to choose Python or you want to choose Java or any other programming, right? Yes. A framework. Which framework? If you are using Python, what framework? Many frameworks for Python. DJANGO is one framework. Flask, Pyramid. Pyramid, TurboGear, Bottle. All these are the frameworks of Python. Django, Flask, Pyramid, TurboGear, Bottle. All these are the frameworks of Python. Among all these, Django is the most famous framework for web applications, interactive web applications creations. Django is providing its own database. It has got, see what database? Django provides its own database. It has got an inbuilt database. SQLite 3. What is that? SQLite 3. Right. This is the database. SQLite 3 is the database. And we can also configure for, we can also have connection to Oracle. If you want to connect to Oracle or if you want to connect to MySQL or SQL or anything, right? Python, this Django supports, right? Very simple to connect, right? With the databases. So here, why I need to choose Python? You may ask why I need to go for Python. Means from the last 20-25 years, Java is mostly preferred in developing web applications, interactive web applications. Why should I choose Python now? Means two things. If you go with Python and if you go with framework like the Django, two are main advantages. One thing is Python, very less coding you see. And like thousands of modules you see for Python, using which we don't need to write huge codings. Directly we can use the inbuilt features. That is one. Secondly, if you go for Django, at a rapid speed, you can develop a web application. At a rapid speed, you can develop a web application because Django, no need to write the code. Maximum the code, .py files will be already available. We no need to create those files. Already it will have many inbuilt .py files will be available. We just modify and change the code as per our business logic. And if you choose Python, right? We have got many features. We can use many multi-programming features, right? Object-oriented. Procedural-oriented, scripting, and modular programming. Already I said, like we can go with what thousands of model, 89,300 inbuilt modules for various domains, right? Right. Now coming to this different frameworks of Python, right? Django, Flask, Pyramid, TurboGear, and Bottle. Among all this, Django is the most famous framework. So you may ask, what do you mean by a framework, web framework? See, the first thing what we see, what is a framework? What is web framework? Yes. What is a framework? What is a web framework? Web framework, right? Okay. Web framework, right? It is a code library, I can say. It is a code library. It is a code library, right? Which helps to build flexible web applications. Code library, which helps to build flexible web application for building flexible web applications. Web applications. Code library for building flexible web applications, right? So these are the different frameworks of Python. Among all this, DJANGO has got much importance among all this, mostly used, widely used, right? And to come to this, why DJANGO required? Why already we have got many other frameworks and many other languages? Why DJANGO? Yes. First thing is easy to set up. First thing is DJANGO is very easy to set up. Easy to set up and run and execute. And secondly, ready to use interface. It has got ready to use interface. No need to write the coding all the .py files will be already been available whenever you create project folder, application folder, ready to use interface. Especially for administrative kind of activities, ready to use interface. And building all types of applications such as social networks, scientific computing platform, all this, right? Yes. We can build all types of applications. We can build all types of systems, right? Yes. We can build all types of systems, social networks especially. And also, like, we have got many APIs, REST APIs, which has got rich support for several authentication protocol, right? This web development framework for Python offers, see here, fast and effective website development. So here, using DJANGO, we can build and maintain quality web applications. We can build and maintain quality web applications, and also which makes the developing process smooth and time saving. So this DJANGO less time. You got less time at a rapid speed. You can build rapid speed in building the application. Right? Time saving. Okay. Some history of DJANGO. Before you go, you need to know something. When it was released, right? History of DJANGO. It was released. It was released in the year 2005. DJANGO was released in the year 2005. Why the name DJANGO means the name, it's the name of a guitarist, right? DJANGO Reinhardt. DJANGO is the name of a guitarist. Guitarist. The name of him is like DJANGO Reinhardt. In 2008, right? DJANGO was declared as, 2008, it was declared as DJANGO Software Foundation. You got DSF, DJANGO, we got DSF, DJANGO Software Foundation. Just like PSF, right? Python Software Foundation, we got DSF, DJANGO Software Foundation. PSF we got in the year 2001, right? Python Software Foundation you got in the year 2001. In 2008 we got DSF, DJANGO Software Foundation, would maintain DJANGO, right? Which is going to maintain the DJANGO. In 2009, right? Yes. DJANGO 1.1 version was released. 1.1 version, right? Yes, DJANGO in 2009, DJANGO 1.1 version was released. And in 2010, after 1 year, right? Like DJANGO 1.2 version was released. Right. In 2017, meanwhile, right? 2017, right? Like DJANGO 1.11. So meanwhile, you got many versions. 1.11 is the and there. Same in 2017 itself, right? 2017, right? By DJANGO 2 version. 2.0 version was released, which supports Python 3, which has support for Python 3. Which has support for Python 3. So DJANGO 2 version becomes the first Python version, right? Becomes the first Python 3 only released version, right? Which can support Python 3. DJANGO 2.0 version in the year 2017, right? Yes. In 2019, right? Python DJANGO 3 version was released. DJANGO 3 version was released, right? People who go as experienced, right? Keeping some experience after this updating with DJANGO, you need to know the versions clearly on what was the version used. 2.0 and 3.0, right? And Django, the version what we are using currently in 2021, right? Django 4.0 version, right? 4.0 version, right? So we have got a separate, what is it? Documentation for this Django project, right? We have got a separate documentation for this Django, like we have got Django project.com. If you say Django project.com, you can see the total documentation for this. See the documentation, Django documentation, first steps, Django, getting help, how documentation, model view template, MBT architecture, development process security. All this you can get help of this. If you want to see the documentation for this entire documentation. Here you can see, right, the Django documentation's contents. Yes. So here, tutorial, request and responses, models and admin side, views and templates, forms, and all this, you can just check it here, right? The DjangoProject.com. And what are the key features? What are the key features? One second. Key features and advantages of Django. Key features, advantages, and characteristics. Key features and advantages, characteristics, right? Yes. First thing, right? Less code we see, very less code you see. The advantage what we see, very less code. So ensures effective web development, right? Second thing is not repeated. Not repeated. Means everything should be developed in one place, right? Instead of getting repeated again and again. And as I said, fast development. Django offers fast and reliable application development and consistent design. Consistent design. Django maintains a clean design, making it easy to follow the best web development practices. It owns a database. Owns a database. Powerful URL system, right? Powerful. It has got powerful URL system. URL. Generally, any web application requires a URL, right? Like gmail.com, facebook.com for all this. So powerful URL system. And it has got a built-in authentication system. Admin panel has got automatic admin panel. Automatic admin panel, right? So this admin panel, what is this automatic admin panel? It's very simple, right? Which allows the feature adding, editing, and deleting, right? Generally, if you want to add a new record to the table, database table, there'll be some symbols like plus to add a new record. For deleting, you see some kind of minus, this kind of for deleting a record, for adding a record, editing, like a pencil kind of symbol will be there, right? A pencil kind of symbol, like our editing option. So just we know generally in other languages, right, you write a lot of code. But here we have what automatic admin panel flexible features it is providing. Whenever you want to add a new record into the database table, we'll write a SQL query, right? Generally, we write SQL query, insert command. For updating, update command. For deleting, delete command, right? Here we don't need to write those kind of commands also. Directly, we have got directly we can add a record. We can remove a record. We can modify a record. So we'll be able to customize the admin panel as per our requirement, right? As per our requirement, many flexible features provided. We don't need to write the code already. The .py files will already be available, right? Yes. Yes. Some companies using the Django, right? Companies using the Django. Companies using Django, yes. Instagram, Mozilla, NASA is using, Bitbucket, Pinterest, National Geographic Channel, National Geographic, yes. Discovery Channel, okay. So discuss. There's some other applications like discuss. YouTube. Yes, for example, if you can check in this Google, right? Yes, in the Google, if you say companies using the Django, companies using the Django, right? Yes. See here, biggest companies using the Django, right? Yeah. Atlassian, Pinterest, if you call National Geographic, what is the revenue and number of employees for them? Biggest companies using the Django, their revenue and their number of employees. Top 10 big companies using the Django. Just if you observe this, top 10 big companies, right, using the Django, right? Yes. So top applications built using the Django, right? Yes. Instagram, National Geographic, Mozilla, Spotify, Pinterest, Discuss, Bitbucket, Eventbrite, these things, right? Instagram, National Geographic, Mozilla, Spotify, Pinterest, Bitbucket,
Hello.
Eventbrite, right? Yes, yes.
Sir, recently Pinterest shifted from Django to Flask. So is there any drawback of the Django as well?
No, you can go with any framework, right? But the Django has got many flexible features. It has got many Flask means among all the frameworks of Python, Django and Flask are mostly used, but among all those, Django is the most popular, right? Fine.
Okay.
And and if I go to this, what is that Django job market? If you see the jobs in Django, right? People might be knowing Python. Many of them might be knowing Python, right? Yes, but people who knows Django is very less. Very less people knows Django, and that too command in Django. The people who has got command in Django creating applications, all the features, right? Yes, yeah. Just observe this. If you see this. Yes, just to say Django jobs once. Django jobs. Yes, Django jobs, right. Just observe this. Nearly 33,983 Django job vacancies in April, right? 33,983 Django job vacancies in April. So here, if you see, this is Naukri and Django jobs in Hyderabad itself, right? Apply to 5,960 Django jobs. And if you go to this LinkedIn, 2,000 plus Python Django jobs, 9,000 plus Django developer jobs in 2,000 Django jobs and vacancies on 8th April. So here, okay, whatever it is, Django thing is you need to have that command and this framework, Django framework. Apart from its Python, you got knowledge right there. So we'll be discussing, it's not like the sessions will be hands-on, right? If you can do parallelly along with me, you can just develop that application step by step along with me parallelly. If any error, even you need to know where the error occurs while giving request or getting response, right? What kind of errors you need to just solve the errors by yourself, right? First 2, 3 applications is okay. Thereafter, the first 4, 5 steps will be common to all these applications creations. Fine. Django, all these are the Django batch apps, basic applications to the whatever, right? Project, my project 1, 2, 3, 4. In this way, many applications or projects will be building step by step. So you can do parallelly along with me the steps, step 1, step 2, step 3, all that. If you get any error, immediately you can just share your screen. We have got that possibility of it in Zoom. And if you see that notes, clear notes for this. Okay, for example, any application, if you take any application, right, small virtual starting or creating project, step 2, creating or starting an application, right? Go to settings, add your application URL, specifying URLs, go to views. All this code is already available in Django. Just don't think that we are writing that code separately. Only in views.py, only this Python, this function will be defining, right? Remaining all these things will be available, right? In this, just say migrate, running the server, giving the request and getting the response, right? Yes. So no need of any, you need to have the knowledge of basic Python first. Yes. Later, if you go to later, once we go to that high-end applications creations, there you may require some knowledge of its object-oriented programming. But as of now, for the next 3-4 weeks, right? 4 to 5 weeks, I'll be discussing this applications creations, and I'll be showing how to work with kind of how to embed images to your web applications, start working with statics, working with views, working with templates, right? And working with models, what database connectivity, right? MVT architecture we follow. So if you see the typical, if you see that architecture right here, 1 second. Any web application, just we require a browser like Chrome browser or Mozilla or what. So here you will use some URL, you will specify some URL, for example, gmail.com. Yeah, installation hardly takes 10 minutes of time, 5 to 10 minutes. I'll show you how to download and how to install them step by step. In tomorrow's session, I'll be just going with that installation of DJANGO, right? Installation of DJANGO, right? So here, this is your browser, right? In the browser, you will be, it's not like Python where you say running that example, right? You give some kind of URL, gmail.com. This request, right? So here we are going to follow MVT, model view template. In Java, we follow MVC, model view controller in Java. Here we follow MVT, model view controller. But here model view template. Models like databases, like views like Python. Templates like we'll be creating like using HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, and JavaScript. Okay, databases, Python, HTML, CSS, Bootstrap. Bootstrap means predefined styles will be available to create a, if you want to, the look and feel of the web page, right? So for that, we bring some predefined styles which are already available, right? Whatever business logic you want to write, whatever business logic you want to implement, right? You want to implement within this Python, whatever the logic you want to write with, we'll define some functions, Python functions and Python classes, right? Later I discuss about. So function-based views, class-based views are available. Models, databases. Your data has to be reflected in the database. If you do any modification, changes, deleting, adding, everything should be reflected in the database. Without a database, there is no application, web application, right? Whenever you give request, right? First the request goes, there'll be a file, urls.py file will be the urls.py. So within this urls.py file, you will be specifying all the URLs for your web page, URLs, all the URLs. So whatever you are providing, the URL should match with any one URL that you have specified in this. So what URL you are specifying in the browser should have to be matched with any one URL provided in the URLs. If it is matching, then it goes to views. See here, for example, I've given a URL name sample. The sample URL beside that will also specify the function, display function has to be executed. Whenever you give this display URL here, whenever it will go display URL, it will go to this, sorry, whenever you give sample URL here, whenever you sample URL, immediately it will go and match if any URLs available or not. If available, then what is the function? Display function. Immediately from here, it will go to display function within these views and execute the display function. What is it? So if you specify any URL, it matches if that URL is a valid URL or not, whether it is there or not. If it is matched, then for every URL, we will provide one function attached to it. For this display function, from immediately it will go to views.py and display and gives that output. This output will be in normal output, right? But I want with different font colors images. Within this Python code, you can also write this. We can embed HTML code within double quotes. If you want to write this HTML code within double quotes, within this double quotes, we can specify this HTML code so that the output, whatever you are displaying on the, whatever output you are displaying on the browser, next response, whatever response you are providing back to this browser, right? Should be in different font colors. Otherwise, if a file is HTML file is very big file, then templates, some .html file you create, that output will be displayed on the web page, right? These things. So steps involved, what are the steps involved, right? Steps involved in web development, in application, steps involved in application creation, steps involved in application. First, start project. Second, start application. Otherwise, create a project or create or start project, create or start application. Add application name. In settings.py. Add application name in settings.py. Specify URL. Specify URL in urls.py file. urls.py file, right? So first, like 1-2 applications, it looks something new, but once you go to 3rd, 4th application, it looks very simple, the steps, right? So I said nearly like 20 applications will be discussed. And define a function in views.py file, right? Next, 6th step, migrate. Next, start server, run server. Okay, giving request in the browser. Giving request in browser, right? Yes. So these are the things, right? These are the steps involved in application creation. Just in 5 minutes, right? I'll develop a web application, small sample application, and show you, right? The steps is possible. Yes, I'll forward, not a problem. I can forward you through mail, right? Yes. Steps involved in application creations, create or start project, creator. So here. So first, downloading and installing IDs. So here, downloading and installing the IDs, integrated development environments, right? Downloading and installing. Downloading and installing IDs. So first we work with these IDs, right? Previously, we used to have an ID called Autumn. Now the support, there is no support for it. So yes. PyCharm Professional is the mostly used one. It's a licensed. PyCharm Professional is a licensed one. It's not free, right? PyCharm Professional, not community, like PyCharm Professional. Second thing is what? VS Code. VS Code, right? Visual Studio Code, right? Yes. PyCharm Professional and VS Code. So everyone, for tomorrow's session, right? For tomorrow's session, everyone just download this PyCharm Professional and VS Code. You just download and also install. It's normal installation, right? Say next. Only one thing. Add a shortcut on your desktop. Only that you can choose. Remaining all you can say next. PyCharm Professional and VS Code. How to download this PyCharm Professional and VS Code, right? Just go to your Chrome browser and just say PyCharm download. Just say PyCharm download, right? Yes. Download PyCharm in this way. So the first link, whatever you get, right? Download PyCharm, Python IDE for professional. The first thing, whatever you see, just click it. Here community is there, right? Can you see here? Professional and community. Community is for pure Python development. And for professional with HTML, JavaScript, and SQL support. For scientific and web Python development. For scientific and web Python development with HTML, JavaScript, and SQL support, right? But you need to download this. You're supposed to download this professional, right? Yes. Whenever you click download, download will start. Thank you for downloading, right? Yes, it's 496 MB. Nearly it is of 500 MB, right? Yes. I cancelled it. It's nearly of 500 MB. Okay. So everyone, you can just download it and install it. Step by download this and install this PyCharm. Professional one, right? Okay, fine. That is what PyCharm, right? Downloading PyCharm and installing PyCharm Professional. So everyone, you may ask, it's a licensed one, but I'll show you how to use it without license. How can we work with this professional, right? So it is giving free 30 days trial, but after 30 days also, how can we work on this professional? Why? Because community won't provide the features for this. We doesn't have DJANGO for that, right? In community, we won't find that framework DJANGO, but here we find flexible features. And secondly, if you go to this Visual Studio downloading, VS Code download, you can say. Visual Studio, right? Code.visualstudio.com. It will go to this, right? Code.visualstudio.com, right? Yes. Downloads Visual Studio Code for Linux, Mac, and Windows. Click it, click the download installation code, right? Yes. For Windows, for Linux, and for Mac OS, right? It's clearly providing user installer. Otherwise, you can go to this, the second one, code.visualstudio.com. Code.visualstudio. Just say in the site, in the just type code.visualstudio.com. Code.visualstudio. Code. Code.visualstudio.com. Download. Okay. Code.visualstudio.com, right? Yes, you can just click it. Download visualstudio.com, right? See, whenever you go to that home page, if you click this Visual Studio code, go to the visualstudio.com, just say code.visualstudio.com. Everyone, just say code.visualstudio.com. You'll get this. By default, you will get for download for Windows. Right. Okay. For Mac OS, for Linux, whatever you want. Yes. User installer, right? What is that? User installer stable, right? Yes. So just if you have got Windows, nothing, directly you can say download. Download will be started. If you click this, right, download is going to start. See, just 84 MB, right? 84 MB. So everyone try to download these two things, right? One is PyCharm, one is VS Code. PyCharm Professional, VS Code, right? Yes. Okay. Now, I'll show you one application, right? A small application within 5-10 minutes, we can develop a web application. So in PyCharm Professional, I say, I'll show you in PyCharm Professional. If anyone, if you have got installed this PyCharm Professional, yes, you can do parallel along with me. Once again, I'll show you in the tomorrow session. Like, what are the steps involved? Creating a starting project, creating a starting application, and third step here, one more step here. Creating virtual environment. One more thing is creating virtual environment. What do you mean by creating virtual environment? Means virtually we are going to create, right? Environment, Python environment, virtual environment. Means here in PyCharm also or in VS Code also, just we'll be creating virtual environment, means virtually installing Python. It takes from the path. Okay. Creating virtual environment, virtually creating Python within this PyCharm. Yes. Now I'll just go to this 1 second. PyCharm professional. Yes. So this was already created. If you want to close this file, close project. The project is closed. Yes. Now creating a new project. So here at the here you can see new project. Create a new project where this, and we need to select which one you want, Django or Flask or Pyramid or Py2, all this, right? Here Django, you select Django, which one you want, Django. Django project 1, I'll say. Django, right? So new project and say Django project 1. And by default, see a Django project 1, where it is getting stored in C folder, in C drive. Django apps folder is there, right within that Django project 1. Otherwise, okay. Django apps, Django project 1, right? Yes, by default, the location, see here, virtual environment is going to get created. It is going to take the path C Python 311 python.exe automatically. If you want to work with which version of Python, Python 311, 3.11, 3.10, 3.8 or 3.9, select it accordingly. So I'm selecting 3.11 itself, right? Yes. Or automatically it takes if Python is installed in your system, right? And more settings. Go to more settings. So here the first 3 steps will be completed in a single, right? So here in this, the first 3 steps. What are the first 3 steps? Creating, starting, creating this first 4. This first 4 steps will be completed, right? I created a project folder, but in VS Code or in other IDs, we have to use separately for this. So I'm project folder, Django project 1, application folder, some demo application, demo app, demo application, I'm saying. Application name, demo application, project name, my project. One virtual environment is enough, right? One virtual environment is enough. One virtual environment, right, is enough. In case of PyCharm, automatically internally it creates for every project, but in VS Code, one virtual environment we create, and that same thing will be used for all. So demo application, just say here three things: project folder creation, application folder means demo application with this name, and adding your application name in settings. Project name, application name, and your virtual environment. Three things, right? Project name, application, and virtual environment. Three things are going to be created in a single step. And also the fourth step, also adding your application name to settings. For just say create here, all this will be happening. Creating. So it creates virtual environment. It installs DJANGO. It creates project. It creates application folder, like all this. Yes, it is saying installing DJANGO, right? We no need to do all those. It automatically installs DJANGO in case of PyCharm. In case of VS Code, we need to install DJANGO. Here in PyCharm is more flexible, right? It automatic, no need of any installation of DJANGO here. Automatically in PyCharm, it internally installs DJANGO, creates, first it takes virtual environment. It installs Python by taking the Python from your system, wherever it is located. And it installs DJANGO, creates virtual environment, creates project folder, create application folder, add your application folder to settings.py. Can you see two things here? With whatever name you have given, see the bottom, discovering at the bottom right corner. So it's updating skeletons, So can you see project folder and application folder? Project folder and application folder. So once you see what is present within the project folder, already you will have the code, the pre-built, the predefined .py file. See, if you open this DJANGO project one, you can see init.py, settings.py, urls.py, WSGI, right? Web server gateway interface, right? All this .py files already available. See, if you see settings.py, we are not writing any code. Already all this code available in this .py file. We are not writing anything. And here in urls.py, you can see, double click it, you will see that. Right. Yes, settings.py, right? This is mostly like any kind of database settings or HTML, all this. Application folder, right? If I just open this application folder, admin.py, models.py, views.py, models.py, admin.py, apps.py, test.py. All these are the .py files, right? All these are the .py files for application folder, and this is for project folder. Now, in this, the first 4 steps completed, right? Yes. But in VS Code or any other IDs, we are supposed to create one by one separately. Now, the step, if specifying URLs, right? And also a function. Specifying URL means directly you can go to this project folder. Yes. Directly go to the project folder, right? urls.py. Yes. This is a bigger comment. Remove this comment. We will be removing this comment, multi-line comment, right? Direct. Now already this is available, right? Yes. Right. So re underscore path is that for specifying the URL, we use re underscore path function. Re underscore path raw string starts with any name like a demo. I'm specifying that URL demo.com. Just you can just provide the one. Okay, a regular expression, or this is starts with symbol. With this symbol we call like starts with demo, start with demo, and end with dollar is the symbol for end symbol. See, observe carefully, dollar is for end. This indicates for start and demo. You can give anything, any URL, right? Any number of URLs also, right? Comma. Whenever you provide this URL on your web browser, whenever you provide this URL on the web browser, on your Chrome browser, what function to be executed means, in this we have got in application folder, views is there, right? Views.py. In that we'll specify a function. That function has to be executed, right? Just go to this views.py, right? Go to views.py, and within that views.display. Repath is okay. Just to specify URL, raw string starts with and ends with the demo, right? And here it is giving red color marks for this and this. Means where this views.py is available, where this views is available in this project folder, in application folder. Where this urls.py, here in urls.py is in project folder. So from demo application, import this views. So here, what is application name? Demo application. Import this views. If you want to use this views, right? Where it is available views in demo application, demo app. From demo app, import views. From demo application, import views. Yes, now you got it will be gone, right? Demo, this is gone. And repath, what is repath means? Already you got this import path, comma, repath. So you can use path or repath, re underscore path. from the Django import path, comma, report. Right? This is what specifying URLs. Next, in this views, I need to define one display function. So go to views.py, in that specify one function. Def is the keyword used to display define a function. Go to this display. Always it will take def display function. Display function always takes the request request. It takes the request and gives the response in within this. So what is that response? It's return HTTP response. Return HTTP response, right? Yes. HTTP response. So for HTTP response, I'm getting some error, right? So one import statement for it from DJANGO.http. Import HTTP response. Yes, click this. Yes. From DJANGO.http, import HTTP response, right? Return HTTP response. And what you want, I want to display some message, right? Yes. DF display request, return HTTP response. Yes. So within this HTTP response means HTML code I can write, right? Yes, HTML. I'm keeping everything within the double quotes we keep and write the HTML code. HTML I'm saying within the HTML body tag I'm saying BODY body tag. HTML body background color BG color. What is that BG color you want to write? BG color equal to within that BG color is red color. I want BG color is red. Text color. What is the text color you want? BG color is red. Text color. LLOW. Yellow. BG color is red. Text color is yellow. Now with the H1 tag, H1. Welcome to DJANGO world. Welcome to DJANGO world and close this H1 slash H1. Close this body. Close this HTML, right? Slash HTML, right? And finally close this bracket. Bracket is closed. HTTP response, right? So here just body BG color is red color, text color yellow color. H1 is the bigger heading. Welcome to DJANGO world, right? Python. Yes. Enter, right? Return HTTP response. That's it. It's completed, right? So here, here next, what we need to say is here within the tools, run manage.py task, run manage.py task, right? Yes. And say migrate here. Just to say migrate. Here you can see this migrate, right? Yes. Migrate. If any errors, it will display the errors, right? During this process. Process finished with exit code 1 means 1 error you got. URLs. URL patterns equal to URL patterns. URL patterns. 1 second. Migrate. So it's migrating, right? Process finished with exit code 0, you should get, right? If you're getting 1 means, so here URL patterns, not pattern, patterns. That one URL has specified demo, right? Yes. Now here you can see some button, right? Here button, like play button, right? It's for running the server. We don't need to write any code, but in other IDs, we need to write the code for running the server. Here, just to click this, the server is going to start. Starting the server. Server starts. And here you got some link HTTP localhost. This is what localhost 127.0.0. This localhost 8000 is the port number where Django is running, right? And if we right click this, open in with which browser, Chrome or Firefox, or open in Chrome browser, You got this, right? And what is that URL? This what? And slash, and in urls.py, what is the URL you have provided? Anyone? What is the URL we have provided in urls.py? Demo, right? Observe here. Demo, right? Here in urls.py, demo you have specified. So just specify the same here, demo. Demo, right? Slash. Say enter, right? Yes. Welcome to the Django world. This is the output you get, right? This is sample. So just we have created project folder, application folder, right? Settings.py, right? And URL specifying and a function, a small function, right? For giving response, right? And HTML code you have written, right? This sample application. So I'll show you tomorrow. I'll show you how to work in VS Code and how to work in PyCharm. Once again, I'll show you that step by step applications creations first. Yes, by tomorrow, right? Everyone try to just download this PyCharm and VS Code, and I'll show you how to install Django in VS Code. In PyCharm, it automatically installs, downloads and installs everything, right? But in VS Code, we need to do the step by step. I'll show you it, right? Yes. So yes, any queries you have got, anyone, right? So tomorrow also same time at 8 o'clock. Follow the same link. Today's link, whatever we are same 8 to 8. We'll have class from 8 to 10 tomorrow. Just come with that downloading and installation process of it, and you can just follow my steps. follow my steps, right? It's a hands-on, right? It's not like watching the sessions. Do parallelly along with me. Yes.
Sir, what about MacBook? Like it's a little different from Windows.
Yes. MacBook also you can try to install those, right?
Yeah, but there, I think there should be some command and all, and that I don't know.
I said how to download, right?
Yeah,
That IDs you download, right? And later once you open it, everything will be same.
okay.
Normal software installation only in MacBook. Download files, both VS Code and first download both will be available for both. Support is there for both, right? Mac.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
VS Code and PyCharm both, right?
Yes, sir.
So yes,
This recording will be available today.
yeah, recording you will be getting to your mail IDs, right? Once you check by afternoon, right? After 2 hours, right? Within 2 hours, you will get the recording. You will get
Okay.
that. This will be uploaded in the YouTube. YouTube link will be given to you, right?
Yes. So one more thing, you had taken care of a CSS and HTML in this batch. I have the HTML files and the videos, but I don't have any CSS files. Can you please share those as well with my email?
CSS file. Okay, I can do that. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Fine. Okay. So I'm stopping for now. We'll continue tomorrow, right? More discussion on this. So
Vijay, every week it will be 8 a.m. only, or it's
8 a.m. only. So as per that, the 8 a.m. is set because of people from US, right? So if it is 10 o'clock, it will be too delay for them. It's like 12 o'clock, 12 p.m. night. So 8 a.m. is for US time zone people. It will be better, right? It's at 8 o'clock. Fine. Every week we will start at 8 o'clock. When we go for bigger applications, I'll take from 8 to 10:30, 11 also sometimes. Fine. Okay. Now, so if you got any queries during this, right, you can just, during these sessions, you can just immediately you can unmute yourself and you can ask. Otherwise, if you got any error, if you want to show that error, right, you can just say me that you want to share the screen immediately. Fine. Don't wait up to the end of the session. If you got error at the start of the session, don't wait up to that, right? Immediately, just rectify that error, right?
yeah. You said that notes daily notes would be better to read every.
Yes. Yeah, the step by step, every application I'll be developing first. Tomorrow, whatever applications I'll show you, that immediately I'll forward that notes and you'll be getting the video of it. And just practice it, right? Yes. Fine. So, okay, I'll stop for now. We'll continue tomorrow. Fine.
Thank you, sir.